Hey guys, it's Clary Berry here. I am a little bit sunburned. As you can see, I had an excellent weekend. I hope you guys did too. Rocky's not here today, but my cat is over here. So that's Neo. If you want to say hi. Rocky and the kids will be back. I happen to have an off day. It's a wonderful day. I'm really enjoying it, doing a little social networking and little YouTubing and doing some cleaning, things like that. So I just realized that I don't really have a video that kind of explains this diet, and I wanted to make one because, of course, I want all my friends to get into this lifestyle. So it just makes sense that this is my next video. So I have a lot of ideas for good videos this week, so be sure and subscribe below if you haven't already so that you can get updates on those. So Raw Till 4 is what I do. It's kind of an offshoot off of the raw vegan diet. If you've ever heard of raw vegan diet, people think that it's kind of unhealthy. And the main reason is that it's hard to consume a lot of calories on a raw vegan diet. It's really hard to eat enough to actually stay healthy. When you're looking at a fruitarian diet, if you actually look at it, it's actually much healthier, pound per pound of food. And if you can get in the calories, your nutrients are going to be off the charts. So, there's a lot of background information about why I'm doing this and the science, and I have a lot of videos on that. And I'll be doing probably a lot more videos as well. So I'm not really going to get into that in this video. This is just basically the basic guidelines. And so these are all from Freely. It's all from Raw Till 4. It's basically, just right there on her webpage. And of course, as usual, you can go to 30bananasaday.com or Freely's page or anything and get a lot more information, but these are just the basics of my diet and what I've been doing lately. So I'm kind of not totally perfect, but this diet, because it does have the macronutrient ratios, you can tend to fudge around with it. You don't have to be perfect every single day. You can kind of go by a weekly ratio if you want to too. So if you're kind of lost and you're like, Claire, wait a second, ratios, back up, what are we talking about here? Basically, again, the Raw Till 4 was based off this high carb vegan diet, which basically is called 80-10-10. And that means you're getting 80% of your calories from carbs, 10% from fat, and 10% from fat and protein, respectively. So, that may sound kind of low. Again, I can get into the science and everything else a different day, but this is what it is. So when you wake up, you're eating basically fruit. A lot of people do smoothies. A lot of people do mono meals. You don't have to do that. Mono meal would just be eating a big meal of the same fruit, like a big meal of oranges or, a blender full of bananas. And so you basically want to do that all morning. And there are, I think, better fruits to use, but pretty much any fruits that you can afford, find, and that you like are great to use. So you want to get a lot of calories. So you want to eat a lot of this fruit. You don't just want to have like a banana for lunch and a banana for breakfast. That would be crazy. And that's kind of the whole deal, is that fruits have everything we need. They just have them in a little less quantities. So you have to eat more. And calories doesn't matter. Throw the ideas of a calorie is a calorie out the window. Throw all that out the window. Basically, you want to get about 1,000 calories per each meal if you can. And of course, beginners are going to have a little bit of trouble with this because our little bellies are not used to packing in that volume of food. On this diet, you're going to eat a lot more food, and your belly at first will get big, and there's a lot of other newbie considerations, but basically fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch. Now, do you have to do that every single day to do in this diet? No. Sometimes, and even though it's called Raw Till 4, sometimes I'll go ahead, like today I had a bagel for breakfast just because of circumstance. So I'm not too crazy about that, but I am really, really good at sticking to the vegan part and all of the ratios, like I said, over the week. Maybe every meal not perfect, and I may have what I call a cheat meal, but it's actually like a backup plan. It's an ingrained backup plan. So like I said, if you have a bagel for breakfast or you eat some oatmeal or something, that's fine. So, but usually fruit. In the beginning, you want to track your calories with like FitPal or Chronometer is great to use. They're kind of really good for 80-10-10 people. You want to eat a lot of salad, a lot of greens. Sometimes you can put this in your smoothies, or sometimes if you're like me, like might like a salad in between your breakfast and your lunch, like have a salad snack because you might get sick of just having fruit, especially in the beginning. You're not used to eating a lot of sweet foods all the time, so it kind of takes a little while to get used to it. So you're doing this throughout the day, and like I said, you can go to salad, to cucumbers. Um, you can have dried fruits as well, but you want to limit that and drink a lot of water with it. In the evening, you want to have a meal. You want to eat fruit first if you can to start out your meal, never after. You want to keep it still kind of low fat, but since you're going to be eating probably a salad, then, they say like a couple times a week you could put like half an avocado on there, or like 15 almonds, or 20, black olives or something like that to get some fat, or like a tablespoon of raw nut butter or something like that. Peanut butter is not really recommended, I don't think, but again, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world if you just have a little bit. So fat should only be eaten at this meal. And like I said, only a couple times a week. You just don't need them very much. And they do combine well with the greens. So it just makes sense to eat them, then or alone. So fats don't really go that well with most fruits. However, like you can do like strawberries, pineapple, kiwis, and stuff with salads as well. And I do mango with salad too, and don't have any problem with it. So if you don't have any problem, you hear a lot once you get into this diet, you'll hear a lot more about this food combining, and it's all relative. If it doesn't bother you, then go ahead and do it. Nobody can stop you, and there's no reason not to if it doesn't bother you. So even things like coconut and durian are pretty fatty, and so you want to keep them, limited in the evening. So what else you want to keep in mind? This 10% guideline is that your fats should not be over 10%. And that's probably the one you're not going to usually probably worry too much about protein unless you had like a protein shake, addiction or something. But, the fats can really get out of hand. I mean, if you're cutting down, if you've eliminated meat out of your diet and dairy, then you're, bringing your fats down so much. I just saw a page today, Sally Fallon actually says herself that if you're eating meat and dairy, then it's pretty much impossible to stay under 30% fats, which is what most people try to do when they're dieting. So that's the thing that, you're probably going to have the most issue with. If you're eating the carbs at night and you're eating any processed food, then you really have to be careful with it. And you really just have to switch your habits is all it is. Like instead of getting regular salad dressing, make your own. Try some mango, citrus, jalapeno, stuff. You can use coconut milk and lots of seasonings. You just have to find, like I said, new habits and new things that work. Okay? So a lot of food combining, issues. I'm not really going to talk about that. You need about 2,500 calories from fresh fruit in the salads every single day. And keep in mind, your tender leafy greens are not going to give you very much calories. And actually, the serving sizes are huge. It's the opposite of most, package labels. You'll look at it and they make their serving size really small when you're eating more. Well, when I look at least the salad that I get, my baby greens, I look at it and the serving size is so much more than what you would think. And most people don't even eat that much for a serving. So, keep that in mind. You got to smash those calories in with fruit. 2,500 is a good number to aim for. And keep in mind, that is before your cooked carbs. So you want to get that 2,500 before you turn around and have that meal in the evening. So your evening meal is not just going to be that salad, because that salad's not going to have you carbed enough. Now, if you wanted to stay raw all day, you could very easily, like I said, put some raw carbs on your salad, and that would be fine. And if you've hit enough calories, then you might feel good enough to just, not have any cooked food for that day. And that is actually optimal, provided that you're getting enough calories. But the second that you're still hungry, that you're cranky or whatever, and you need more food, then you need to just don't feel bad about eating some cooked carbs, some good cooked carbs like steamed potatoes or like rice, things like that. You can do corn pasta, corn couscous. Just make sure that you keep the fats really, really low to none. You don't want to be adding olive oil. Oil is not a health food. It's not good for you. The only reason why people think it's healthy is because of the Mediterranean diet. Really, the Mediterranean diet does not mean dumping a bunch of oil all over your pasta. The Mediterraneans actually eat, I think it was up to 4 times more fruits and veggies than we do, and a lot less meat. So there's some other issues at play there, not just the olive oil. And of course, people say, well, olive oil is better than butter. Well, it is, but it's not the best. The best is no oil at all. And like I said, if you're going to have avocado, some people eat a little bit more, some people eat a little bit less. I do really good on like 95.5 during the week, and I usually splurge a little bit on the weekends because you do need a little bit of fat. You do need some good fats. And so, like I said, this can be your evening meals. And one other thing with your evening meals, like you can do bread and, bagels and things like that. I even have, like a lot of times I'll do tortillas. And these things are going to be like your little cheat meals, your additional fat or maybe additional salt meals. Salt is another consideration. It's easy on these cooked meals to add in some fat and add in some salt, and you don't want to do that for either, really. Like I said, if you listen to your body and track, how much good fats you're eating, but track it all, especially at the beginning. But don't forget, 2,500 calories. You want to drink about 2.5 liters of water a day or so. Give or take, you want to be really peeing a lot throughout the day. And of course, want to make sure and get your exercise too. You got to get that heart pumping every single day. And that's basically the gist of it. This is what I'm doing every single day. If you want some ideas on what I eat, please check out my Instagram, my Facebook, and or any of my recipes and what I eat videos. I try to help you guys out as much as possible. I know that I post a lot about this all the time and everybody's interested in it, so I'm just trying to get you guys the information that you need. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comment section and I'll try to get back with you guys as soon as possible. So again, I hope you guys are having a great day and take care, and don't forget to eat your fruits.